Hi there and welcome to the channel. Today I will show you some pages that I've been creating in France and Spain, and not just in my art journal but also in my traveler's notebook. So last time we ended with this page from the fig tree and the fig jam, and now we went from the stay of Roel and Petra with a wonderful garden. We went to Aguilas, and that's a place on the beach, and we've been there last year too. And I created these pages here, these spreads, and it was wonderful doing that because I was painting with a Belgian guy, Patrice, and it was great to do that. And this time I wanted to walk on the beach and find myself some shells like I used to do as a kid. And we are living close to the beach, but still, every time when I'm on a beach, I want to find some shells or stones or things in the sand. And I don't know what to do with those, but in my case now with art journaling, it's great to draw them. But this was a beach with just stones, so there weren't any shells there. And luckily, Anthony found me a snail house, this one, and I wanted to draw it, but then make it larger. I really zoomed into the wonderful spiral that's in this snail house shape, and I wanted to cover that in this drawing. And you see, it's really, I think it's 10 times bigger than that one. So it was really great thing to do, to experiment with layers and shadow and light, and to get these circles, this spiral, to get this perfect. It was a great thing to do. And then in my composition, I thought there needed to be another shell, but there were no shells. But then that evening, oh, it falls apart. That evening we ate paella, and then luckily I had a shell, a twin shell. Hey there, look at this. It's a wonderful Spanish paella, and I want to thank all the people who donated for our channel, especially Sonia and Deborah, because they have donated a lot and we can afford this meal. So thank you for donating. And I think it's not exactly this one, but it was the same like shell with the black here, and it was great to do that one as well. And here I wrote down a little text about looking for shells on that particular beach, and they weren't there. This area I created in the same light color that I had here, and I am really in love with this background color of the page. And I wanted it, well, to be quite simple with a little purple, little Payne's gray. So I think there will be a Payne's gray shell here. And I also loved to fill it up with a pattern that's coming back throughout the page. And this one is, well, generating some movement in the page, that you look firstly at this one, then you look at that one, and then you look at that one that isn't there. But maybe I'll leave it this way. I don't know yet, but I feel it's, well, it's a nice page, and composition wise I can say it's all moving to that side. So it's a great way to make some movement with patterns, and with these patterns it's also already, well, showing a direction of the page. Now here comes my bravest project. I had to deal once more with the squarey pattern that was also here. And it was really, I cannot say a disaster, because it's wonderful pattern and it's wonderful fabric, a wonderful design, but it is so hard to do something with it in an art journal. And I'm doubting if I do this ever again in an art journal, but maybe I will become good at it in the end. Because what I decided is totally overlap everything. So I had some pieces of an old dress, which is, I think, this part, and here's a little part, and I think here's a little part, but I can't even determine where it is and what I've done, because there's so much in this page. I think here is it too, but I overlapped it with paint. I started with coloring a background on this page, and then I did kind of the same as that I'd done here, but I really don't like it. It's really ugly. So I started doing this, but I thought no. So I selected some pieces of fabric and even bandage, curtains, and I did everything with fabrics, overlapping, coloring, overlapping again, coloring again, and then finally I had these, well, kind of guideline from the fabric here, and then I wanted to create something like I did before in this book, like this, a flower pattern, but then with fabrics, with painting on fabrics, and I wanted it to be as a whole with the colors that are already here. So the full page is still in line with the original fabric, and it's also in line with the dress. This is my guideline and this is my guideline. So I have two guidelines to do something with my colors. I really loved working on this page in the end. I think it took me 4 hours, but it was a great thing to do. And what I've also done, this part of the page, you can also see it here, I cut off a strip of paper to create this little how-to page, how to create a limoncello. I didn't have any paper with me, so I needed to cut out something out of the book. So that was this page actually. And then I started building up a part of a new page here. And on this side it's white, and there's still this thing. I think it's also here underneath somewhere. So I really loved working on this particular spread. And then I had my final pattern, triangle pattern, on this page. And this was very interesting. It was at the same place, Casas Nuevas, where I created this page. And it was also a wonderful place. We had good weather most of the days that we've been there. We've been there for 4 days. And the almond blossoms started blossoming just then. And behind me, you can look at it later, or you check out the intro of the video. You can see I have some almond blossoms here now too. So that's really wonderful, and I think they will come back in this art journal too. But now let's go back to this page. What I wanted to do is doing something with yellow, because it was a warm day, it felt sunny. So I wanted to do something with yellow. And I had this little color cube card with me. I just had 10 or so with me, and I haven't been working for them all trip long. So I thought it is time to use one. And this was the one with that nice butter-like yellow in it. I loved this picture as well, but I wanted to make it in my own style, and I wanted to stay true to these yellow colors that are already here. So what I've been doing is creating a kind of same like yellow that's here already. And I first created the full page yellow. It was all yellow. And then I put this one here. I drew the outline of the card, and then I started building up a landscape. In the first place, I based that on this one, but later on, I totally went my own way and did something completely else with it. Then I had something else that I really wanted to use, and that was this piece of wallpaper. And this wallpaper, I brought it with me. I had it all journey long, and this was the same as with this. I have to do something with it. And it's another color of yellow. It's a bit here, but it's a different color. But I thought I can use the pattern with the leaves. So I've been doing that, and I really loved working with it. It was a bit difficult because I had to mix three ways of inspiration with each other. So it was this block design fabric, it was a wallpaper, and it was this color cube card. So, but I think I've done a really good job, and it's a wonderful thing to do and make your own decisions. So it's gonna be yours. So this one isn't completely copied. I now see I still have to do something with these nerves of the leaves, but okay, no problem. Then I also changed this color palette, but I had this one for a guideline. And finally I came home, and then I found something. I didn't want to overlap the fabric, and I wanted to have a kind of in-between solution. So I also didn't want to add this wallpaper just here and, well, I'm done. I want to integrate it, but now it's underneath this flap, and I really love this. I once did this for a jelly print workshop, and I found it, and I thought, I recognized the colors, and I thought this is perfectly matching this page. The only thing that I've been doing is making this color of blue that's also here, and I use that for the sky. And for, well, some points in the drawing I used it too. So, long story, a lot of work, but I'm very satisfied about this page, and it's also having a relation with this yellow page from the limoncello. Now, the final page that I've been creating, when I was already home, I started with adding this label of a wine bottle in this art journal. And before I throw a bottle away, I always check the label of the bottle. And this one was so cool, a 4-person tandem. I thought it was really cool to use that. I directly pasted it in my book, because otherwise if I put it on another surface, it's getting broken, and I don't get it in the right way. I don't have the name of it. It's always hard to tear it from the bottle, especially when you are in a hurry, because you see glass containers and you directly have to stop and remove your glass. So this was very fastly done, and then I wanted to do something with this label color-wise. So I created a background that was quite calm, and then I was just looking for things that were matching. And here I had a little kitchen, well, cleaning towel, a wet towel, and I cleaned my brushes with that, and I thought it would be great to have that as a kind of frame connected thing. So you see also in this composition, I let things come back on the page like this and that. This is the birch bark, which is here, but also there. The funny thing about that is the birch bark is always containing more layers. So I pasted this one down, and then suddenly I had another one in my hand that was getting loose, and then I put it there. This is also a bit like the color of the seed. Also, I let it a bit come back in my background, like here. And this was also very funny because I found me this leaf. I think it's kind of a fern. I don't know what it is. If you know what it is, please let me know. And also, I had this paper that Denise Love sent me, and it's almost the same shape. So, keeping in mind what I told you about movement in your composition, these leaves are connected. This one is going to that one. This one is staying aside. How do you say that? This one is looking at that one. So your eyes are forced to go in this direction. I don't think about these things too much. It's going intuitively, but it's a good thing to be aware of what makes it a good composition or not. This artichoke I drew when I think we were in Casas Nuevas, and we've been to a tiny shop, tiny supermarket, and I really wanted to do something with an artichoke. It was a very small one, and it was a very dusty Pop and Mom store, and I bought this little notebook, 60 cents, and it has this lovely paper with, it's for calculations, I think. But I found it very great to work on this paper, and this artichoke is the same paper. So it was a great thing to do, and I will show you some other sketches, and maybe I'll copy those and put them also in this art journal. This is in my traveler's notebook. And I think this was still at Roel and Petra, and then we bought this lovely piece, and this is garlic, and it was great to draw those, and they were really delicious. And then I had me some leftover paint, so there will be something here. But this is the artichoke once again. I haven't colored it in yet. And I was drawing, just before we went for a walk, I was drawing these asparagus, the green asparagus that you find in Spain. And I thought they would be great on a page of this art journal as well. So I think I will put them, under my printer, which has also a copy function. So I can create something with the asparagus as well. Let's see, yeah. I have one more page in this to show, and then, it's done. And these are some landscapes that I've been creating while on the road. This was already in France. It was from Minerve to Najac, which was for Anthony a horrible road to drive on because it was so small, and we were constantly afraid that there was another car. But there was luckily it didn't happen. But this is Nièvre, so more mountain-like landscapes. These are very quick sketches, and sometimes I have pencils, sometimes I work with a pen, but earlier I've also done this with Derwent or pastels or whatever I have, and I paint in the car. So that was a bit of our road back, and these pages I already created when we were home. And this was a vision I had when we were sleeping in the van. I saw this. I looked upon us laying in bed with Pearl next to us, and this was a moon. So here are some faces. Maybe here there will be a face too. So fake dream shades or ghosts, or I don't know what they are. And this was also very funny because I still haven't tried out my new roller. Or actually, it isn't new, it is a vintage roller that I bought on the market in the Netherlands before we went for our journey. But it's easy to create some nice patterns with it. I overlapped it with a little white to make the pattern a bit more, well, give it a bit more contrast. Also with this page, I don't know exactly if this page is finished or not, but well, I will show you one more page and that's not finished at all. But this is a lovely thing. Here is one of my favorite dresses. This is my favorite trousers. And this, maybe you recognize that one because I'm wearing it right now. These are my clothes that I had with me while traveling. And this is one of the assignments for our new project, Brave Art Collective. If you want to know more about that project, please take a look at the page and you can join the waiting list. Then you get extra information as soon as it's available. So I think that's almost it. But we're back home already for almost 2 weeks. And now I still have a lot of this book unfinished. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I knew when taking this book with me, I knew that this wasn't a project that I could finish. And I also had many other books with me that you can see in another video that I posted earlier. But this book was too thick to fill anyway. Even this book, the blue edition from Dina Wakley, it was, well, too thick to finish. It's having around 30 pages and it was too much for a trip for 2 months. So I finished a lot of pages, went home, and it seems like a kind of a story that is, well, it's a good story. You see a good overview from our journey. And in this one, I feel like there are some little things that I haven't done yet, like the almonds, and maybe I want to do something with the flamingos. But it was also a different journey, and I allowed myself to do some other things in this book, like giving you some little insights from my inner world. And it's also the case with these kind of abstract pages. It's also the case with these pages that are, well, a bit more my inner journey, and that's also a good thing. So I think I could continue this book with inner journeys, and I still have to finish another art journal when home. So I will, well, think which art journal will be the best for the thing that I have in mind that particular day. So it isn't a problem that this isn't the full journey that we had, because we visited a lot of places that we've already been to. So it wasn't quite new for me to paint something about those places. So I started in with another intention. This doesn't need to be a travel art journal. I don't know what art journal it will be in the end, but I let go of some old ideas that this needed to be an art journal for just Spain and France. It can be anywhere. I can finish just, well, what I feel like I want to do with it. Sometimes it's good to put no pressure on your art project. So that's definitely the case with this one. Okay, that was it for this week. And please take a look at these wonderful almond blossoms behind me. I haven't plucked them or cut them off in Spain. We had a little branch that we found in France. It was laying on the ground, but unfortunately they didn't make it till we were home. So yesterday I was on the market and I bought me some new ones. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next video. I'm looking forward to see you then again. Bye bye.